Hey guys, Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Avengers vs. X-Men AVX Consequences, Issue 1. Yeah, it shows Issue 1. Okay. Just want to give you guys a little update before I start my review. First, gonna update, 2 comic reviews are already up on Dark Avenger Inc. for Red She-Hulk, Issue 58, which is a Marvel Now title, which is supposed to be, Issue 1 of Red She-Hulk, but, they kind of just moved the Hulk series to Red She-Hulk. So that's up on Dark Avenger Inc. And also Morning Glories. Haven't had a Morning Glories review in a little while. So Morning Glories is up on Dark Avenger Inc. and Red She-Hulk. And also another update is that I don't have as many comics to review this week. I mean, I bought other comics. It's just that I have New York Comic Con and I gotta get up early and I had a late day today. So I just didn't have enough time to get to read all my comics and to be able to film all of them and then get ready for tomorrow for New York Comic Con and get ready for this whole weekend. I still don't know how I'm gonna do all this because it's so much, but I'm very excited for New York Comic Con. But it's gonna be really overwhelming, but a great overwhelming, and I'm very excited for New York Comic Con. But that's the reason I don't have as many reviews. So I won't be reviewing Scarlet Spider, Wolverine, the X-Men, or Ultimate X-Men, which I'll still read them probably by the end of the weekend, maybe towards the end of the week, but I'm not going to be able to review them. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just trying to review more of the popular titles that came out this week, because a lot of popular titles came out. Because I was actually debating to myself, oh, should I do reviews this week? Should I just skip them because New York Comic Con? But I realized, wow, like every popular titles coming out this week and very, hyped up titles, and I definitely wanted to review it for you guys. But let's talk about Avengers vs. X-Men. I know that was a long update, but I definitely want to update you guys on why I wasn't doing as many reviews. But let's talk about the cover for Avengers vs. X-Men. I like the cover a lot. It's really a conclusion of what we got from last issue of Avengers vs. X-Men that came out last week, which is Cyclops loses. And that's pretty much all you need to know. But the art is really good for it, and you probably guys are questioning why I even got Avengers vs. X-Men Consequences. I'm like, you know what? Let me try it out. I say this all the time. I'm not going to waste my money on these big events, but I end up wasting my money on these big events and even the consequences on this big event. But to tell you the truth, I wasn't planning on pick up this whole series. I was just going to pick up issue 1, see how it was, just maybe see where these consequences were going, maybe to kind of start a good story, and I was like, oh, maybe it could be good. So that's why I picked it up. And again, I wasn't planning on getting all the issues. I think there's like 5 or whatever it's going to be, but it's not supposed to be a lot. So, and I think it's coming out every week. So I think it's just they want to quicken it because of Marvel Now and try to get it towards the side, but they still want to get that story out. But this actually coincides a lot with Uncanny Avengers, which I'll be doing a review for. And I actually recommend you read Uncanny Avengers first and read this next if you bought both issues. But let's start the review for this issue. This is definitely Consequences. We get to see Wolverine kind of ponder on Xavier's death and talk about, oh yeah, I went to the funeral and stuff, which that was in Uncanny Avengers, so that's why I was saying read this after, because there are references to Uncanny Avengers, and we get to see a little bit of Wolverine on that. We get to see Cyclops being all in prison. I'm also actually getting a little confused with Uncanny Avengers because they're so similar. They bring a lot of different stories, a lot of same characters, I should say, in both those issues. So they really do connect. I know maybe not a lot of people saying that, but these 2 titles really do connect a lot. It extends the scenes and it makes it a little bit better, actually. So we get to see Cyclops going to prison for what he did, and I like what they're actually doing. They're saying, you know what, we're not going against the mutants. We are only going against the mutants that did wrong. And that's exactly what they're doing to Cyclops. It's like, you did wrong, and that's why you're going to be captured. So he's being captured. We get to see Hope also, which is another important player for a couple of years now for the X-Men. And she's just pondering on what should I do next. And she also finds out Cable's alive, and he's like, well, Cable left, and he doesn't want to see me because he's worried that, what I would do, and maybe I would follow him or whatever, and he doesn't want that. He wants me to have a good life. So she understands why he's doing it, but she still wants to see him. But she also says, all right, well, now I got to do something with my life. And, Captain America and Scarlet Witch are like, well, you could, join the S.H.I.E.L.D. You could be an Avenger. You could, go to Jean Grey Institute. And one of my favorite lines, I actually read this like 3 times. My favorite line from this issue was, Hope is saying after Captain America and Scarlet Witch are trying to give her ideas, she says, "I never dared think about what's next. It was all about my destiny and all that. I just wanted to save everyone. That was me. And now I'm just normal. I guess I want to try and be normal. I don't know anything about that." And I love that. And I'm actually glad that, yes, she's still a mutant, I think. I'm not totally sure about that. I'm pretty sure she's still a mutant. She's just not, have a destiny anymore. But I think it would be kind of cool to see Hope go to school, have a normal life, see what would happen. Does people know who she is, and because was this broadcast on TV, this whole Avengers vs. X-Men? So if she went to school, would she be totally normal, or would they know she has these Phoenix powers? And I think that could be really interesting. And to tell you the truth, they could make a series all on its own about that. And I would enjoy that. Maybe be better than her whining about her destiny all the time. It could be interesting to see her as normal, and I really like that. So yeah, that was actually really interesting in this issue. We also get to see Captain America confront Wolverine and say, "Hey, talk to Cyclops. We just need someone to talk to him." And Wolverine's like, "I tolerated him by just standing and seeing that he went to the cell. I can't talk to him. You don't know how much it hurt that he killed Professor Xavier. It hurts." And Captain America says, "All right, I understand." But Wolverine, in the end, we get to see that he goes to Cyclops anyways, says, "Hey, bub, we gotta talk." So, I was actually really surprised with this issue, because what Avengers vs. X-Men couldn't achieve, they achieved with this issue. And I really wasn't expecting this issue to be any good. I was just expecting this to be any Avengers vs. X-Men series, saying, alright, it's all the same crap again. But this was actually really good, and this is what I wanted with Avengers vs. X-Men. And I think it's because with the consequences, we're getting to see the consequences. We're getting to see characters and development and chemistry, and not really chemistry, but interactions. And that's what Avengers vs. X-Men should have had. And that's how you can make a good story. Not just, hey, Namor, let's fight. Oh, Cyclops did this again. No, we don't need people to become Dark Phoenixes to be a good story. Yes, you could develop that and make a good story and make things interact. They could have done that in Avengers vs. X-Men, but the story was so much better in this. It's just what they did. And there was no fighting in this issue, and that's why it probably was better, because we concentrated on these characters, and surprisingly, I'm going to pick up the next issue. This is actually real. Was it the best issue? No, but this is what I wanted with Avengers vs. X-Men, and it actually makes me excited to read the next issue. It makes me interested. With Avengers vs. X-Men, I was never really interested. I was just like, alright, this is the big event. Something's got to happen next. Nothing happened in this issue? Okay, I mean the last issue. And last issue stuff happened, but it wasn't brilliant. But this is really good. The only complaint really was the art. I didn't like the art at all. But, if a story's good enough, the art is not as bad as, it doesn't make the story horrible. So the art was tolerable, I would say. It was pretty bad, but it was tolerable because the story was so good and kind of drove this comic. But it still lowers my grade because the art really is not that great. And when I opened the comic, that's why another reason I didn't expect this issue to be good was I'm like, oh, the art sucks. This is going to be shitty. But it wasn't. It was actually really good. And I'm going to give this issue 4 stars. The only bad thing about this issue was the art, but the story was really good. So I'm going to give this 4 stars. This is a solid issue, and this is definitely worth picking up if you're reading Uncanny Avengers, because it connects really well with it. And really, if you just want a good Avengers vs. X-Men story, and you really were disappointed with the event, I feel like this was actually a good story, and does Avengers vs. X-Men justice, I guess. I'm actually want to pick up the next issue, and hopefully it continues with this whole entire type of story, because I think if you focus on the characters, it works. Now, I'm going a little over time with this review, because I had that big update in the beginning of this review, but again, pick this up. I'm going to give this 4 stars. It's actually pretty good, and surprisingly good, and I'll be picking up the next issue, so I hope you guys enjoyed. It's Comic Uno. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and Random Situations. See you guys.